Okay, so first step, everything that's gonna happen in update 3.3. Second, frequently asked questions on the Infinite Dreams rework. Third, there are gonna be the dates of the update. And in 4 is gonna be Ankama versus the Dreams, so they're gonna play on stream, I think. That's gonna be cool. Okay, let me increase the sound a bit. Okay, so in the first time when they are gonna talk about the 3.3, they're gonna talk about other stuff than the dreams that are also coming in update 3.3. The update about breeding was supposed to be at 3.3, but it's been pushed back to the next year. But there are other elements that are coming alongside the dreams with the update 3.3, and I don't expect anything too big, but still we're gonna present that. Yeah. Oh, please don't. Okay. These are comfort improvements. So this is always like a work in progress over time. First off, slowly, we're gonna be able to delete Calyptus Dophuses. People were putting all of their Calyptus Dophus on a single character. And let me just move myself here. And we're deleting that character. Come on. I'm hiding stuff, bro. Okay. Sorry, Riebek, I'm gonna hide you. Every mount is gonna be able to go underwater from that update, so that's a nice comfort, quality of life. A lot of people will be happy about that. There's gonna be also a militia zappy, so the small zap kind of thingies. In Bonta and Brakmar, you'll have like when you arrive at the zap, you can just go to the zappy and straight up go inside to talk to the NPC. Yeah, so it's gonna save you a couple maps, save you a bit of time when you're doing alignment quests. Okay, a bit more. Now you can double click to GPS. So that's like another small improvement that might be helpful for people. We had other improvements, ideas for the GPS, but they're gonna be coming later. We only had time for this one. Oh my god, this is good. Okay, now we are splitting HP and initiative. So people were complaining, especially Uz, he's not saying that, but I'm saying it. Sometimes you would use it to not start, but I feel like it was mostly complained about. Oh wait, they also added new initiative consumables that can adjust your initiative in fight up to 500. They'll allow you to, a bit like the loot tattoos, or yeah, you're gonna be able to adjust your initiative to change where you start compared to your team. 100, 250, and 500 initiative. I think it's negative though. It's not. This is a craft for fishermen. Trying to like add a bit of value to the fisherman profession. This is probably gonna be nice for you guys. Oh, wow, okay, another banger. They're gonna share professions across the server. So if you have a character that have all the professions level 200 on a server, all of your other characters will have the same XP, the same level. So they were discussing this internally. How is it working when you transfer a character to another server and stuff like that. For now, the jobs, the professions are linked to a server. So if you create a character on a server where you have all the professions level 200, that character is going to benefit from it. If you move your character from one server to another, and that character has like all the levels in the profession, yeah, so it's no longer the character. If the character moves into a server where you have 0 levels of profession, that character is going to have to do it all again. But the other way is true as well. If you move a character from a server where you have 0 professions to another where you're level 200, then you're going to be level 200. Basically, it's no longer linked to the characters. In the update 3.3, this is going to be taking a bit longer during the update to be able to migrate all the data. But this was the best compromise that we found to have like a even playing field for everyone. Okay, now are you able to find the common ground between these images? The secret map races. People in the chat saying there's a Foggernaut here. But this is our rework. About 15 quests were modified based on the tile standing. Not all of them, only like the... It's not deleted, it's improved. But yeah, 15 of these quests were identified as really tedious, really complex, really hard to do. Now it's gonna be simpler for around 15 of them. This one is Wilkinson. It's now easier to have the professions. The professions constraints were removed. This one is about a lettuce or something. It's no longer... It's no longer tiles to stand, but it's levers. If a single person fills all the conditions, they can pull all the levers instead of finding all of the one people for each tile. If you yourself have all the conditions, you can pull all the levers and do the quest solo. And if someone arrives within 30 seconds, it's going to be able to... So this is annual. It's no longer both the tiles and the hour, the last 5 minutes of the hour. This one was only doable like on Friday at 7 AM or like 7 PM or something like that. Now it's a bit larger, the times. Mostly, yeah, alignment quests and free ghost quests that are modified. A lot of free ghost quests had like very specific schedules. 3 last modifications. They're not gonna be there right on the update, but a bit later. During the following weeks. We decided to delay them because there's a risk. We want to like prolong the test a bit. First one, better pings. Holy shit. What a banger. Yeah, where's the question mark ping? What? You can like target a cell and mark it with a color and an icon. It's QoL. I think it's gonna be a really good update. I think the ping stays, so you don't have to spam. Especially for people who are playing like with randoms, not gonna be like in voice chat. Just ping the monsters, ping the cells. Yeah, it's gonna be. Oh, it's gonna be also more easy. It's gonna be more easy to communicate with other people without using chat. So if you don't speak the same language, for instance, this is gonna be in at the 4th of November. Modification about the energy. Oh, these are big topics. Wow. There's been a lot of discussion on the forums about a lot of discussion on the forum, and about the energy. The topic of the energy came up, and we wanted to have this live with the 3.3 update, but we're still thinking about like what's the best way to do it. So far, we want the character no longer transforms into a ghost. It's pretty annoying, especially when you're a dungeon. So we want to remove that part, but still keep the energy. So there's like a lot of energy implied in quests, requirements, but also with the consumables. So we keep the energy, but okay, so they want to put like a bonus if you're high energy, instead of a consequence if you get to 0 energy. So they're still in discussions about that, but they want to incentivize people to be full energy. If you guys have like suggestions about that, we're still thinking, we're still brainstorming about that. But yeah, we don't want people to... Yeah, it's really bad experience for players when they die. When they lose the fight, it's bad. Now they die, and now they're in a ghost, and they have to like transform into... transform back. Basically, one thing that they thought about is that if you're full energy, you move faster around the map. But if so if they're saying if you have to be full energy to move the fastest, people are gonna have to be always full energy, whereas today people, if they're between 0 and 10,000, it's fine. So it adds kind of another pressure on the energy, so they didn't like that. So if you're full energy, you increase your HP more faster. Or if you have full energy, the HP giving bread is more efficient. So these are options that they're considering. The goal is not to brainstorm about that. We've already done enough. But if you have any ideas, just post them on the forum. We're gonna read them all. Last thing, you can use Haven Bag and Bank for crafting. This is absolutely insane. Wow. If you are crafting or at the marketplace, you can use... Imagine that you have like 1,000,000 runes. You can put all your runes in the bank, and when you're maging, you can use all the runes in the maging interface. So a lot of people were saying, put the runes to 0 pods, We don't want to have unlimited inventory for the runes, but you can put them in your bank and now use them in the crafts straight up. Yeah. This is coming in the 21st of October. There's not going to be any tax when you're using from your bank, but there's still a tax when you want to put items in the bank. And it's the same thing for marketplace. When you go to the marketplace, you can sell directly from your bank. So there we go. I think it is for crafting as well, because it says crafts here. But yeah, give us your feedback. If you have other improvements, ideas, feel free to share them with us. We're open to that. We want to make the game more fun, like remove the tedious parts. Real fast, I'm sorry, this slide is absolutely atrocious. It's really hard to find the balance between too much info and not enough info. All of the details is going to be in the patch notes. I am trying to summarize the biggest changes. There's a lot of them that are going to be brought to life in this patch, but here are the main ones. Those of you who are not like super familiar with the AVA, prisms, perceptors, I'm gonna try to be the most precise as I can. So for the prisms, it's gonna be evolved. They're not gonna be able to be used to recycle. Now there's gonna be a new neutral prism at the Alliance Temple. There's a zap. It's in Sophokia. It's gonna be accessible for everyone, and you're gonna be able to recycle at a rate of 60% for the player. There's no bonus depending on your alliance. And in parallel of that, there are modifications about King of the Hill. This is the classic AVA. This is a fight between two alliances when a prism is destroyed. Usually, you needed to win 30 points, so a minimum of 30 minutes. Now you're gonna only need 20 winning minutes to King of the Hill. Now there's a delay. Before it was as soon as the prism was attacked, or when the vulnerability was getting to 0. Now there's a 30-minute delay between the prism breaking and the King of the Hill starting. There's going to be a 30 minutes delay, and then you only need to win 20 minutes. What are the prisms going to be useful for? They're going to be useful for teleportation points. The XP bonus is going to still stay there. If you own a territory, if your alliance owns a territory, you have a bonus. And it also gives bonus on the preceptors. Now for the preceptors, when you're gonna get the resources from the preceptors, you also have the option to instantly recycle. If you do that, you'll have bonuses. The same bonuses that are present today with the prisms are transferred into the preceptors. So you can recycle with bonuses if you recycle straight from the inventory of a preceptor. Lastly, on these preceptors, on these fights, multi-account is now allowed, except, of course, for mono accounts. For those who are not following the AVA, the goal is to simplify it, and so that people that don't know about it can learn earlier. So those people who wants to generate nuggets by recycling, it's more simple. You go to the Alliance Temple, you destroy everything, there's like a flat rate, that's it. So it's more accessible for people who don't know about all the rules. There are other modifications than that. They are going to be included in the patch notes. There's no durability on the prisms. If you want to destroy a prism, you need to attack it and win. The crystal that was preventing from getting to 0 durability is removed from the game, I think. I didn't quite hear that last part. Last modifications before we go to the questions. Leaderboards. We talked about that earlier in the medicinal. Now we're including the leaderboards for PvP, for achievements, and for general, I don't know what's going to be there. So the general ladder, the Colosseum ladder, and the achievement points ladder. You're going to be able to see them in-game. There's going to be some sorting options. And also, leaderboards for dreams is going to be included in that when with the new update. General XP, yeah, probably. So these are the modifications for the... On top of that, there's going to be the infinite dreams. Before we talk about the questions about the dreams, we'll get some questions about what we just presented, the QoL. It's going to be possible to filter the ladders per server. That's the first question. No modifications about the houses. Pods for professions. Oh, that's interesting. If I'm not mistaken, if you have, like, the bonus pods from the professions are given to all characters on the server. So, since the professions are linked to the server now, it's like if all characters on that server had all these professions to that level, so all the bonus pods are going to be applied to them as well. Let's see, I'm gonna drink a bit of water. Any mounts, but also pets mounts are gonna be able to be used underwater. Thank you for the follow, Art Idea. Thank you for the follow, Ionet Woodeye. I don't know how to pronounce that. Thank you, Captain 420, for the follow. I missed that. Okay, I need to focus. Something to add in game, but I missed it. But it's not going to be in 3.3. For King of the Hill, I think it's not allowed to have like multi-account. It's only for perk fights. No nerf to the arm miscreant for this update. For class changes, class modifications, there's gonna be very little or none class balancing for this update. Yeah. Someone asked about deleting the Perceptor book at the Alliance Temple. They have now a bigger role. Of course, we want to prevent toxic behavior, but I think it adds something, like a risk to the reward. Like if you let the perk grow, it's gonna display on the book. So they like the risk-reward mechanism about this, so they want to keep it for now. No server merge is planned. We can take other questions about these QoL changes later, when we're gonna ask about a bit later during the stream. I didn't quite get that. Okay, now we're talking about the dreams. This is the biggest part of the update. Oh, there's even music. There's a trailer, wow.
Sans fin. Des combats de plus en plus haletants, des monstres impitoyables et des récompenses à la hauteur de vos exploits. Stratégie, optimisation, connaissance de jeu. Chaque étage franchi est une victoire et chaque erreur peut être fatale. Bienvenue dans le puits des songes infinis. Un contenu exigeant, renouvelé et surprenant à chaque tentative, le puits des songes infinis, c'est du pur PVM accessible à tous, mais réservé à ceux qui n'ont pas froid aux yeux. Une fois lancé dans un songe, attendez-vous à enchaîner les combats.
Thank you,
Monstres,
Wilson.
avis de recherche, boss de donjon. Tout le vestiaire du monde des 12 se rassemble pour vous faire mordre la poussière.
I was like, damn, this is good, there's
Votre objectif,
subtitles.
braver 30 salles générées aléatoirement avec une équipe de 4 personnages maximum. Plus vous vous enfoncez dans le puits, plus la difficulté augmente. Mais rassurez-vous, vos personnages eux aussi gagnent en puissance au fil de votre avancée. Choisissez les meilleurs bonus pour affiner votre optimisation, car le combat final sera sans pitié. Ah oui, au fait, un détail qui a son importance. La mort est définitive. Rassurez-vous néanmoins, un système de difficulté modulable permet à chacun d'y trouver son compte. En choisissant votre niveau d'intensité au début de votre songe, vous pourriez bien passer du rêve au cauchemar. On n'allait quand même pas vous jeter dès le départ face aux 4 cavaliers de l'héliocalypse. Un songe se compose de 5 paliers, chacun organisé en différentes salles. Ainsi, vous commencerez dans le palier 1, les pensées oniriques, et si tout se passe bien, vous atteindrez le palier 5, les abstractions chimériques. Chaque palier possède de multiples embranchements, consultables en permanence sur votre carte de songe. À l'issue de chaque salle, des portails apparaissent et vous ouvrent la voie vers la suite de votre aventure. Chaque portail indique le type de salle à venir, la difficulté du combat, mais aussi les bonus qui seront octroyés à votre équipe. Faites le bon choix. Une fois entré, vous ne pourrez plus faire marche arrière. Il faudra en assumer les conséquences. Heureusement pour vous, chaque salle n'est pas une condamnation à mort. Entre 2 combats intenses, les faveurs oniriques disséminées aléatoirement et les fontaines oniriques seront de véritables havres de paix pour souffler. Et surtout, pour vous optimiser, car après chaque victoire, vous accumulez des points de rêve, et avec eux, tout s'accélère. Objets magiques surpuissants, passifs légendaires, sorts inédits. De quoi façonner votre songe en fonction de votre stratégie. Vous voulez une vie supplémentaire ? Prenez donc un sable de Draconiros, vous avez désormais droit à l'erreur. Besoin de renverser une situation ? Le sort d'Omiriversi vous permet de changer de camp ou de forcer un adversaire à se battre à vos côtés. Et entre nous, qui n'a
That's really
jamais
nice.
rêvé de faire équipe avec le Shenmue ? Si vous parvenez jusqu'à la 30e et dernière salle, respirez un grand coup avant le final. Ce qui vous attend, un combat à vagues uniquement composé de gardiens de donjons. Dernier obstacle qui se dresse entre vous et la sortie.
And they
Autant
really
vous dire
like
que ça ne
Dragon
sera pas
Pig.
une mince affaire. Bon, imaginons que vous ayez survécu à tout ça. Il est temps de parler de ce que vous attendez tous. Les récompenses. C'est bien gentil la bagarre, mais on y gagne quoi dans tout ça? Vous vous souvenez des points de rêve à dépenser dans les fontaines oniriques? Eh bien, vous n'êtes pas obligé de tout claquer. Faire des économies pendant votre songe est risqué, mais potentiellement très rentable. Tous vos points non utilisés seront convertis en bribes de rêve, une nouvelle monnaie d'échange qui vous permettra d'obtenir des récompenses exclusives. Reflets oniriques, runes astrales, fragments de prismaradite ou encore de nouveaux cosmétiques rares. Mais ça, c'est seulement si vous sortez victorieux de votre songe. Dans le cas où vous mourriez avant la fin... Dommage. Bon, allez, ne soyons pas des sauvages. Vous conservez une chance de récupérer des ressources uniques tout au long de votre expédition en éliminant les monstres sur votre passage, notamment des reflets oniriques ou encore les fameuses légendes indispensables à la fabrication d'objets légendaires. Si vous convoitez la célèbre cape de Jaash ou l'indétrônable ceinture de Dame Jessica, retroussez vos manches et plongez dans les méandres de vos pires cauchemars. Car sachez-le, plus l'intensité est élevée, plus vous aurez de chances de dénicher ces fameux trésors. Oh, et d'ailleurs, il semblerait que quelques nouvelles légendes se soient invitées à la fête.
Oh, nice.
Bon, eh bien, on dirait qu'on a fait le tour. Vous êtes désormais prêts à tenter votre première aventure dans le puits des songes infinis. Et parce qu'il porte bien son nom, Sa rejouabilité est infinie. Vous pourrez y retourner encore et encore et encore. Aucune limite, aucune dépense. Chaque songe est différent. Alors lancez-vous. Vos cauchemars peuvent vous rapporter gros.
Nice trailer.
Ça donne envie là.
Ouais,
Il
quand
est
même
resté
pas mal.
sur le commentaire, ça fait plaisir.
Alright.
Merci pour vos retours sur la vidéo, ça fait plaisir de voir.
People are saying that the video was a banger. They liked it.
À mi-chemin entre le trailer et la vidéo explicative.
It's a bit between a mix between the trailer and the explanation video.
Ouais, ça a été pas mal de questions-réponses, beaucoup de ping-pong entre toutes les équipes. Mais alors,
There's been a lot of work to build this video.
Et l'équipe son aussi.
et communication.
Bref.
All the teams involved.
Allez,
Thanks to them.
se remercier.
Let's stop patting each other's back. This allows for people who didn't read the devlog and didn't watch my super good short explaining everything. They can now understand better what the dreams are made of.
Comme j'ai dit en introduction, on va pas rentrer dans les détails explicatifs d'absolument toute la feature.
We're not gonna go explaining everything from the feature.
Plutôt tourner ça un petit peu différemment.
Let me just hide Rebek again.
Donc, qui sont revenus sur le devlog. Il y a un certain nombre de...
So we're gonna answer like the most asked questions from the devlog comments.
Là, en réponse du devlog pour ceux qui veulent une trace écrite. Donc, ce
No
sera-
offense to Rebek, but that way I hide the least amount of people.
Grosso modo, les réponses qu'on apportera en live, vous trouvez également en commentaire du devlog.
They're gonna post all of the answers that they're talking about right now
Si vous voulez,
as an answer in the devlog, so you can find them there.
on commence. Première question.
Let's start. First question.
Est-ce que... Ah, ça, je crois que ça va être plus pour Talchar. Est-ce que les PM...
Are the MP of the monsters still scaling about with the difficulty? How is the scaling gonna work globally?
On veut qu'il soit niveau 200. Comment on améliore ses statistiques pour qu'il soit équivalent?
How do we improve a level 20 monster stats to make it equivalent to a level 200 monster? So currently
augmente plus ou moins à l'infini.
it scales infinitely. If you go from floor 2 to 200 to 400, they gain 3 MP. 400 to 600 plus 3 MP still. At some point, you reach a step where everyone is a tofu.
Deviennent un peu bancal.
There's a lot of mechanics that kinda are useless.
On a fait
So now in the new dreams,
statistiques qui
there's a lot of stats
seulement jusqu'au niveau 200.
that scale only up to level 200.
Où il va peut-être
So PoE is gonna get improved from plus 2 MP, but a level 200 monster is not gonna get more MP.
ça va être par exemple apporter les PM.
So I need to move myself again.
Considère que
I can put myself here.
200, il a pas besoin de plus que ça
So
pour jouer.
when you're looking at the MP and AP of a level 200 monster, we're considering that he doesn't need more to play.
Pour ça, normalement,
So there's like a ceiling.
tout à fait. L'initiative est concernée.
The initiative is also
Là, en fait, quand on va croiser un
scaled that way. When you find a monster in the dreams,
chaque monstre aura
its initiative is gonna be fixed.
dans l'interface plus tard.
No, a very specific initiative
L'avance,
that you will be able to see previously.
Oui, on en a un petit peu parlé.
We discussed a bit on that on the dev blog.
Tous les monstres.
There's the new UI that's gonna show you all the monsters with all the initiative, all the place where they spawn. So we want to give every tool necessary for the players to prepare perfectly, since death is definitive. There's a lot of random,
quand même aux endroits où on peut
but yeah, the more info we can give,
Et
the more it mitigates that.
comment ça scale aussi?
How does power or stats scale?
similaire à ce qu'il y avait
So it's similar to what exists right now,
aussi dans les sorts de pas mal de monstres
but now it's gonna apply itself in the spells.
qui pouvaient donner 200 de puissance assez
For instance, a monster that gave like 200 power to his allies, now maybe will give 400 power to its allies.
Niveau 20 qui pouvait donner des boosts de puissance de zinzin.
In the tests, we found that some like very low level monsters
qui m'aidera tout à l'heure.
gave like insane buffs when they were scaled up.
Petite folie. En effet, misère avec 25 000 de puissance.
They saw some crazy stuff with like misery with 25,000 power.
C'est bizarre.
It's pretty weird stuff.
Du coup, il y a eu un travail aussi
But
côté GD pour
there's had a lot of work to adjust all of this
Bah, déjà, rien que par
from the game design team.
monstre avec beaucoup de mécaniques différentes,
There's a lot of monsters with a lot of different mechanics.
après lequel tous les joueurs.
Some monsters like have a timer after 10 turns, it wipes everyone from the map.
Au plus juste,
We're trying to adjust all of this
différent de par
for
le pouvoir,
every fight to feel different,
vous sentiez
but also feel fair.
parce que vous êtes tombé sur le mauvais monstre.
Yeah, we want to prevent scenarios in which you feel like it's really this room was really unfair and you got killed, and this includes a lot of frustration.
me battre pendant 1 heure et à la fin ne rien obtenir. C'est pour toi celle-ci.
Definitive death. Will I die for 1 hour and get nothing at the end?
Non, blague mise à part, en fait, il y a plusieurs types de récompenses dans les
There's a lot of different rewards
de combat.
in the dreams. There's end of dreams reward and fight rewards.
Un taux de conversion de 1 pour 1 par rapport au point de rêve que vous gagnerez dans les salles.
So 1-for-1 is gonna be the transfer rate between dream points.
Vous aurez obtenu petit à petit, mais vous ne gagnerez pas de bribes en fait.
They're gonna be transformed into like dream shards or something like that.
Exactement. Et les bribes servent à acheter d'autres choses.
These things are a currency to buy other stuff that you won't be able to buy to use this currency. You'll get nothing if you die during the dreams, but you still get rewards in every room. Like you can still have drops of stuff in every rooms, and these drops you'll keep them even if you don't
Ça,
get to the end of the dreams.
le son devient de plus en plus compliqué à mesure que les paliers augmentent.
The dreams become
Et voilà,
more and more
forcément, vous aurez plus de choses
hard
à la fin et
as you increase towards the dream.
des choses sympas quand même que vous ayez pas fait des sons chouettes.
But if you reach all these hard floors, the rewards increase. So even if you die at the end, but you drop the legend, you don't lose it. It's really like the conversion of dream points at the end. All of the extra dream points at the end are transferred into a currency.
Organisé sur des
Will there be
par exemple.
official contests
Je peux faire une première réponse sur celle-ci. Alors pour
given,
commencer, un souvenir, c'est
for instance, monthly like challenge runs
une seed, grosso modo.
on the memories? Oh yeah. So a memory is when you start a dream. There's like a random seed that's attributed to that dream.
Vous réussissez ou même si vous ne réussissez pas
If you win or if you lose, you'll have the seed. This is like a
à cette
password. There's a code associated to that stream, to that dream.
code-là, et
You can use that code to start over the exact same dream.
si vous avez échoué et que vous
If you fail and you really want to get through it,
run lancé avec des codes,
you can use the same code to redo the same exact dream.
gagner de
But these runs of dreams will give you no rewards at the end.
donc que ce soit XP ou
So you don't get any XP, you don't get any drops.
et pour les
It's just
Exactement.
you give zero rewards, zero achievement, anything.
il y a rien
Yeah.
à gagner avec les souvenirs sauf si vous voulez refaire
It's just for the fun of the experience.
souvenir, c'est pour ceux qui veulent réussir
The nice thing about these
à faire
memories,
une run qu'ils n'ont pas réussi.
if you want to
En effet, comme
win a run that you failed,
en fait,
or if you want to organize
faire une compétition
contests by giving the same code to everyone,
exactement les mêmes monstres et les mêmes salles
everyone will have the same monsters, everyone will have the same the same rooms,
avec ce code.
so you could organize a contest.
C'est exactement ça.
Alors notre réponse est très simple.
Our answer is this.
Les songes
When we remade the dreams,
justement dans cette idée-là.
we added the memory seeds
Gagner de drop et compagnie,
with that idea in mind to organize contests.
sauf pour ceux qui veulent absolument
They don't give rewards,
ils ont échoué.
so they don't like really serve.
C'est pour ça
There's not a lot of
pouvoir
appeal,
proposer des événements autour de
but we put them to be able to organize events. For now,
organiser
there's not gonna be
les serveurs
official events organized on the servers. We will do improvements on the dreams
et on
based on your feedback, and next year we would like to
qui veulent participer pour
propose suggest some events like that, and challenge the community like that, but it's not going to be during this year.
Mais j'ai une question.
Oh, now Dev has a question.
Il y a quelque chose qui me vient comme ça. Comment est-ce que je peux voir quel score ont fait les autres joueurs, quoi?
How can I see what score the other players have made? That's a really good question.
Il y aura des ladders,
There's gonna be a leaderboard
donc
in game.
ladder comme actuellement, un ladder de songe.
Like right now for the dreams,
Savoir,
we ask ourselves a lot,
ces ladders.
like, how do we want to build that ladder?
On a besoin d'un ladder pour
If there's like a contest, we need a ladder to be able to differentiate who scored better.
qu'est-ce qu'on allait faire du ladder.
How are we? Yeah, we ask ourselves, what are we gonna do about the ladders, the leaderboards?
Un ladder qui récompensait
Either
purement
it's a leaderboard
comme ce qu'est
that
le ladder général.
rewards just farming. So maybe the number of time. Yeah, okay, so the number of... If you do a lot of dreams, you get a lot of dream points at the end. The people that have the most of this currency, they are at the top of the ladder. This is like a farming. But we didn't go in that direction. We want our leaderboard to be more oriented about the best players and not the players that farm the most. So if you make a run, a classical run that's not a memory, you can be in the leaderboard. So the higher intensity level, the higher in the leaderboard, the higher dream points that you keep in extra at the end, the higher in the leaderboard you will be. For us, this is like the best way to evaluate people, to like place people. It seems to be the best idea. We are aware of some limitations. Under current dreams, it's really random. What we can offer as a leaderboard is really kind of limited. It's going to be more useful in the contest. We can compare people more efficiently between them because they all have the same rooms. Okay. Okay, how... Wait, this question makes no sense. What about the accessibility for mono account people if only the owner of the dream gets rewards? But that's false. Everyone will get rewards. The dream points, if you keep them towards the run and you keep them at the end, every participant in the dreams will get a prorated amount of dream points. If you were there for all 30 rooms, you will get 100% of the dream points at the end. If you do only one room, for instance the last one, you'll get 1/30th of the rewards. So if you and your 3 friends make the full dreams together, you all get the same amounts of reward. For drops, it is room by room, so everyone gets drops. So that is a false kind of interpretation. Everyone that participates in the dream, be it the owner or not the owner, they get rewards based on how much you did like during the dream. So at the end of the dreams, if you did like half the run with someone and then you left and you're farming peewees at some point, when the owner of the dream does the final fight, you will get a reward. A notification saying like, "Hey, you won like the end of dream rewards." Is it only the owner of the dream that unlocks the achievement? And can you get power leveled for the achievement through the achievements? There's going to be achievements. The achievements are based on the number of dream points that you convert at the end of the dreams. So it's gonna ask you convert 500 dream points at difficulty 7. So it's the same thing. If you participate half of the dream, you'll get less rewards at the end, or less progress through the dreams achievement. If you were hoping to just do the last fight to get the reward, that's not gonna work. You can do 30 times the last room. It's gonna be equivalent to making a full dreams run. Yeah. So to get the achievements, you need to finish a dreams run. Oh, all right. Here are some ornaments. These are gonna be rewarded. So for these achievements, there's gonna be titles, costumes, and ornaments. So this depends on the intensity. There are 5 of them. There's only 4 here because it looks prettier, but there's one more that depending on the intensity level and the achievements. We'll see what transpires in the beta. So achievements on the first intensity level, then achievements on the second group, which are 4 to 7, and then 8 to 10. These are the nightmares. There are also achievements linked to that. These, like last achievements, are going to be among the harder ones to get in the game, apparently. Okay, now they're saying that they're gonna run the nightmare intensity on stream, but people are not super comfortable with that, and they're laughing about that. So the achievements are gonna be available on difficulty 8, 9, or 10. It's like the question: will Volka be able to solo the nightmare 10? Rebek says if I say nothing right now, it doesn't give content to Volka to like use me saying that's not gonna be able to do it at the start of his video where he actually does it. They're saying that, yeah. Good luck to Volka and to anyone who wants to try to solo. If you realize, if you manage the impossible of soloing a Nightmare 10, we will we'll congratulate you in the next stream. Is it gonna be possible to have Draconira Sands, an infinite amount of Draconira Sands in a memory? Oh, in a memory. So, Draconira Sands basically are extra lives. When you fail, you spend 1 sand and you start over. So when you start a memory, this is about the memories, like when you redo a seed. So when you do a memory, you can change the difficulty of that memory. If you choose the easiest difficulties, you have 1 extra sand. The problem of giving infinite Draconirus sands in memories is when we're gonna do later on, we're gonna do contests. It's gonna be kind of too cheated. And on the other side, if you're redoing the memory, they're talking a lot. So if you're redoing the memory, you want to have this exact same experience. So maybe in the future we'll make like a 3rd mode, like dreams, memory, and like unranked memories where you have infinite tries to like try to reach that super hard fight. But yeah, there are no longer questions. Okay. Maybe you guys have questions. We're gonna
Est-ce que vous avez d'autres questions
we're gonna see in the chat if people have other questions.
Quid du pain et de l'énergie? Alors, comme on disait dans le
What about the bread and the energy?
son énergie et
In the devlog that was explicit, you no longer need to use bread or energy between dream rooms.
Je vous regardez, je me dis qu'est-ce que j'ai dit? J'ai dit une bêtise.
Non, 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 non.
Pour les quêtes, est-ce que tu te sens chaud?
What about the quests?
Sans chaud de parler des quêtes. Ouais.
Are you willing to talk about the quests?
On peut en parler. Donc, c'est un sujet qu'on peut. Ouais, vous pouvez poser vos questions, on répondra aux
Okay.
questions pendant le.
You can ask the questions about the quests.
En fait, je pense que tu peux en parler.
Let's talk about the quests right now. Okay.
Qui demandent d'aller faire des songes. Dans cette nouvelle version, ces quêtes vous demanderont encore d'aller faire des songes.
The new version of the quests is still gonna ask you to do dreams.
Dans les songes. Et
Everything's gonna be the same, and they're gonna be adapted
pouvoir vous demander une intensité
to be able to ask you for a specific difficulty level.
que vous avez en cours.
All of them
Faire un songe vous demanderont encore de faire un
that you have right now that ask you to do dreams, they're still gonna ask you to do dreams. Maybe they'll have like a requirement about the difficulty, but that's it. Everything is the same basically.
taux de drop des légendes. Je ne l'ai pas
Drop rate of the legends. I don't know it by heart, but we didn't present it in the devlog.
combat. Enfin, sur chaque
But
étage,
on each floor that you get,
ce qui va vous lister les ressources que vous allez pouvoir
oh, there's gonna be a loot table with all the rewards possible. So for each floor, right now it wasn't super clear. You have to have the chest to look at it. But on each room you'll have like a tooltip.
0,07 avec la prospection qui a un impact.
Right now,
sachant que
prospecting affects that rate. The rate is 0.07%.
Exactement, ouais.
And as you climb through the difficulty levels, you get more and more. You get increased chances, and you're gonna drop it straight up, not in a chest.
essayez de faire tous vos combats full PP, c'est à vous de voir, mais peut-être que du coup ça va pas être facile de faire les combats derrière.
People are saying like
C'est du
complaining about the prospection, so they want to keep that to have like the risk reward aspect of like, should I put a no moon for instance? It's gonna be harder, but I have a more chance to drop the rewards.
tout le monde est content qu'il y ait la PP sur les légendes, c'est parfait. En effet, ça fait pas lui.
I think I heard 0.07.
D'habitude, quand on ne met pas la PP sur les objets, généralement c'est l'inverse qu'on a.
People are happy about the prospecting, but when we don't put the prospection on the drops, people are also happy. Okay, it's not fixed, set in stone. We're thinking about it, about the PP impacting the drops. We're open to have that discussion with you guys. Tell us what you think, basically.
Si vous avez des questions sur vos anciennes ressources, qu'est-ce qu'elles vont devenir?
If you have questions about the old resources, what they're gonna become, everything is listed in the dev blog, so just go read that. We're not gonna talk about it on stream because it takes a long time, but you're not losing all of them. They're gonna be transformed. Okay, so let's start. We're gonna play. We are gonna play the dreams live on stream.
Le temps qui se prépare et
While they're preparing,
soit prêt dans son combat. Donc pour rappel, ils vont faire un songe.
as a reminder, they're gonna be doing the difficulty number 4.
On a designé les difficultés pour que les très faibles difficultés, enfin, les très faibles difficultés 1, 2,
We designed the difficulties
puissent être faites à plus petit nombre. Donc là,
for difficulties 1, 2, 3, which are the easy
ils vont être en équipe
thing,
sans, on a un
are gonna be able to do with less than 4.
et un upper.
So we have Panda, Feka, Stram, and Hopper.
Pas besoin d'être up par son skill. Oh, ça fait confiance. Il est confiant.
He's gonna showcase how much the Hopper doesn't need a buff
Vous arrivez dans le hub,
because he's so good at playing Hopper.
il va y avoir, vous voyez d'autres petites maps qui
So this is the hub.
vont PNJ ou
Okay, this is like the when you press T.
un son.
This is where you can talk about what?
On s'écarte du sujet.
Okay,
Que le joueur voit de quoi tu veux parler.
this this is a bit distracting.
Pour revenir sur la map précédente,
Okay, to start a dream, you go at the center map.
voilà.
I'm not the one saying this, I'm just translating Gluto. So now they can either continue or start a new one. So now they're gonna start a dream with the difficulty number 4. So paradox 1, the leftmost violet one. And when you click, you can see actually all the bonuses that you have. So you have, if you take the easiest one, you have a reduced drop and reduced XP. When you go up into the difficulty, you get bonus for this one, 170 for instance. Yeah, if you want to progress your quest, you can select easier difficulties. Okay, it started. This is the first room. So this is the start. Here's the map. It's a bit modified. So this is changed a bit. So instead of 3 floors, it's gonna be 5 floors for the first bracket. And the first bracket's always gonna be 5 fights. The difficulty is gonna be harder. Oh wow, that's interesting. Proto for the first one. This one is the difficulty level 15. So that was computed based on the monsters. There's Proto, there's like... People are happy about Proto, not really. Yeah, Billy of the Whale, that's gonna be a spicy one. I'm just gonna place myself here. So now we can see... Oh, there's only 2 monsters. Only the boss and this guy. And they're positioned here. So now we can see the initiative at the bottom, Proto, then the Panda. The other one was difficulty 13. So this one was 15%, 15% range damage. So he picked that one. And let's see how it goes. Yeah, there's no Malamiba. So now, yeah, you can see here is all of the... What's it called? Summary of your dreams bonus. So you have 30% more dodge, 15% more range damage. And you get the bonus XP and bonus loot from the being at difficulty 4. I can talk a bit more about the monsters that were adapted. So our goal was to put the most amount possible number of monsters in the dreams. We wanted to put the arch monster even. But yeah, the balancing of the arch monster is kind of shit. So we decided not to go for that. Yeah, it created like really huge HP bags. We didn't really want to like face them. It wasn't really interesting. They just had high HP. However, we didn't think to add that, to talk about that in the devlog, but it's gonna be actually included. There's gonna be the wanted monsters. So the wanted monsters are gonna add some nice mechanics to some fights. So we're talking about that. Each monster has a rating, difficulty rating. Each room has a difficulty rating. So when you enter a room, it's generated. So for instance, here maybe Belly of the Whale, the boss, Proto, has like 13. And then the other monster was like difficulty 2. So you enter into a room with difficulty 15. Then basically it generated this room. Like Gobble is gonna be scaled to level 200, HP, and bonus power. But it's gonna have like a lower difficulty rating. Okay, let's go back to my parentheses that I opened but I didn't discuss. There's a lot of monsters that were modified because they didn't really make sense. Especially the ones with specific maps. For instance, Turtolonia. There's like around 20 monsters, around 20 bosses that didn't make sense in the classical Dreams sense. For instance, the Crobes don't have the Malamoeba. Belladonna doesn't have like the two different phases. Talkasha was modified. Vortex was modified. So a lot of monsters were modified to kind of make their mechanic possible in Dreams. And sometimes they just scale down or up the difficulty based on these modifications.
Le risque, on savait pas. Hop, cela. S'ils allaient y arriver, après on a toute confiance, on a mis beaucoup d'espoir en nos deux valeureux qui ont accepté de montrer leur skill. Il faut savoir que faut avoir le courage d'oser montrer son skill.
And so he's praising the two devs that are playing. The guy that's playing, because it takes a lot of courage to play before all of these viewers and to take the risk of getting roasted. So now they're saying it's kind of a uninteresting fight. We're just gonna use our super dev. Yeah. Look at this super strong spell of Upper Mage that one-shots a monster. See, Upper Mage doesn't need any buff. Yeah. Alright, so they're trying to find the UI of something. Oh, they're trying to show the tooltip of that shows like what possible drops you have. Okay, so here it is. So when you're in a room, you have this Infinite Dreams UI, and if you click on this loot table, here you have 100% chance to get two of these dream resources. So you have no chance to get legends. So it's not really that useful, but when we will get past the first 5 fights, there's gonna be it's gonna be possible to show the loot table. Okay, so this is just Aniris. This room.
Oui, parce que là, en fait, un moment, on s'est posé la question aussi. On a fait des ajustements, on fera probablement des ajustements, de dire qu'est-ce qu'on favorise quand on a une difficulté. Par exemple,
okay, so here is explaining about what's the most interesting part when you're when you have difficulty, like 15 points of difficulty. Is it more interesting to have like one monster of difficulty 15? Or is it more interesting to have 8 monster of small difficulty, like 8 gobbles? What's better? So for now, like, we opted for smaller groups. But as you progress, there's gonna be maybe the difficulty is gonna increase, and you have more chances to have like more monsters. Yeah. So they're saying once again this is kind of a not interesting fight, so we're gonna just speed run through that by using the Doom spell. Let's go look at the map. So you have 2 options, 13 or 15. So he's looking at the rewards. So increased range on all of the spells. So you wanted to go there? We wanted to not use like a memory seed. To have like to showcase that we were playing the same mode as you guys, but then we kind of face all of these these weird monsters, these weird bosses.
essaye de changer un petit peu votre manière de jouer.
But
Que vous jouiez pas.
the goal is to add bonuses to change how you're playing. So not this room, but the 2 rooms down the road. The update is not range in the normal sense. It's increased range on all of your spells, even those who have like non-modifiable range. So they're saying maybe we will be able to add bonus extra casts per turn on spells that have limited number of casts.
Effectivement, la disposition d'une salle en fonction de la difficulté.
Okay, and one interesting thing
On avait tendance à
is the
être complètement aléatoire.
positioning of the room
Avec un seul monstre de difficulté
based
1 et
on
avec beaucoup de monstres de basse difficulté.
the difficulty. So some rooms were like one boss of level difficulty 15 or 15 monsters of difficulty 1. I'm exaggerating, of course,
Donne des combats plus intéressants parce qu'on va
but putting bigger monsters that have higher difficulty rating make for more interesting fights.
il y a plus facilement des boss,
That's why we're favoring
chercher des mécaniques un peu sympathiques.
putting bosses with small amounts of monsters.
Easy, vous aurez d'autres niveaux de difficulté qui
For those who think that this room is too easy,
drastiquement la difficulté
you'll be able to just increase the difficulty of the room
des combats.
and you'll have a much harder challenge.
Alors, on gagne des bonus en entrant dans la salle ou en gagnant la salle.
So do we get the bonuses when we enter in the room or when we win the room?
Sur la map en branchement. Alors, en fait,
So when you look at this, the immediate bonus is like the 2 summons and 20% vitality. You get it before you do the fight. And the loot, which is like, this is the reward at the end of the fight. These are dream points
donc à chaque fois, il y a un
that you can spend in the fountains and
choix entre est-ce qu'on veut
or keep it to get like at the end.
un point de rêve, quel embranchement on veut pour
Mhm. So there's multiple facets to your choice. Do you want more dream points? Do you want more bonuses? Do you want to get a bonus, specific bonus that's down the road?
Anéris, l'achat était difficulté 12. Vous pouvez relativement facilement déduire quelle est la difficulté d'Anéris. Donc j'imagine
So yeah, you can eventually figure out what the difficulty of all of the rooms are. For instance, in the Aneris room, there was a difficulty 10 room,
à chaque monstre
and there was only Aneris, so it's easy for you to guess what difficulty is
avec
Aneris.
des retours qu'on va ajuster les difficultés progressives.
Obviously, like we didn't
j'y vois plus rien.
we didn't manage to
Ça m'arrange.
find the perfect amount at the first try, but we're gonna adjust. Now he's complaining about being gravity, cosplaying Exceller. He's happy about the 15%
Non, il faut qu'on les peut-être
15% range damage.
pour l'instant ils seront pas dedans parce qu'on doit faire une modification
Ozavara monsters are not in the dreams so far because we need to modify them before.
entre les monstres.
There is a scoring adjustment
Un tel en fait
of synergy.
c'est 20.
Oui, il y a exactement.
So Aneris is like difficulty 10, but if it's with another combo monster,
Faire quelques-uns.
there's like a combo score that cranks up the difficulty. But obviously not all of the monsters and bosses have like combo mechanisms with all of the other monsters.
Il y a même un quatuor dans le lot qui.
But,
on en a
yeah.
parlé dans la vidéo de présentation, je sais pas si vous vous en souvenez.
There's like even a bonus difficulty for four different monsters, like a synergy, probably the horseman.
Duo sont associés à la main aussi.
So all of the difficulty points for individual monsters and duo of monsters are inputted at the with like manually.
Tu vas tomber sur un autre.
So it's a lot of work,
Je le garde pour le prochain.
and there's gonna be some improvements that is gonna be done as we go.
N'est pas forcément croissante à chaque fois.
So it's not always the difficulty is not always
Vous allez avoir le choix entre une
becoming harder and harder.
difficulté 15. Si vous choisissez la difficulté 15,
If you at the start and you have a choice of
par
like
exemple. Donc ça va peut-être être moins. grosso modo.
Okay, so there's a range of difficulty for each floor and for each intensity level. So for instance, if like the room that you're facing is between 5 and 15, you might get the 15, and then the next room it's between 6 and 16, you might get the difficulty 6. So this room is difficulty 10. The one before was difficulty 15, and Iris was difficulty 10 as well.
J'y pense, mais en parlant de groupe de monstres, il y a également des...
So now it's speedrunning.
Il y a aussi des incompatibilités entre les monstres. Oui, évidemment.
There's some monsters that are incompatible. Oh, nice! Wanted monster.
Ah bah je le connais pas.
Comment?
Je le connais pas celui-là.
He doesn't know about it. That's pretty nice.
Et donc là, on a plus 1 de portée maximale au sort.
Yeah, now he got like +1 maximum range for every spell. So this is gonna be very crazy. I think spells that you can only cast on yourself, now you can cast them, or spells that are only melee. People are explaining in his ear about the wanted monster mechanism. So yeah, we don't know them as much as we do the bosses, but now he's got polarity with 5 range. Holy fuck, he can runic repulse to move himself because he can cast it at 1 range. So he can cast like release next to you to push you away. But that's crazy. Yeah, Iap's Wrath, you can do it with 2 range now. The goal is to like make interesting every run, to make every run interesting. Yeah. What the hell is this shield monster? It's from the Caravan Road or something like that. It's a city mode. If you were extremely unlucky, you could get 30 times the same boss. At some point in the playtest, we got 4 times in a row Eternal Conflict. Yeah, now you can play eye up and just spam your spells from afar. Oh, he's... There are some bonuses that you can get. Wait, could he cast the hammer at 2 range? That does it apply to weapons as well? Okay, wait. I need to focus. Yeah, they're commenting about how he played his whole turn of a Hopper Mage, but while being pacifist, and didn't notice. A lot of questions about the shields, the dream shields. The goal is not to delete them. I'm not too sure about what they're talking about exactly here, but yeah. He's getting explained how to not get pacifist. Talking about the crafts of the animal legends into the croquette. They are making some last minute adjustments, and you're gonna be able to see that on the beta. So Kayulud, which is another wanted monster, gives gave a hard time. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, you can fight bosses in the for the first time. Okay, so this is the fountain. Here are the options that he has. We have 26 points. We can buy a lot of stuff. This is an active that you can use 3 times. Just puts the gravity state. This is one reroll. This gives like vitality. These passives are increase final damage for each try of AP removal that you do. Each AP none you use is transferred for the next turn to increase the AP. I'm not sure about exactly all of this, but he bought this. So when you do, okay, so when you do some AP reduce, it increases your final damage, and each AP that you don't use, you get it on the next turn. This is the second bracket. So the difficulty is getting increased a bit. You have difficulty 18, difficulty 20 rooms. But okay, let's see the drops for this room. I think you need to go into a room first. So here we can see the drops that are possible here. So you have the shields, the sidekicks. You can keep 1.35%. Then you can get some runes. Yeah, so these shields are really rare. It's rarer than Paragon for sure. And at the bottom you can see how much I don't know the name of this in English. In the astral runes. So you get, yeah, so this is the bracket 2. You get more drops. Starting from the bracket 3, you start to get legends. Thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. Let's see. I wanted to... He wanted to showcase the favor, but he picked the right path, so... We will be able to see the favor room at the next bracket. Alright. So, yeah, apparently the reflections... this is reflections. The price will maybe change based on the drop rate. Yeah, he's really capping. Like, once again, the quests are gonna be exactly the same. You cannot soul anything in the dreams. So yeah, the Hopper Mage, I think he just skipped his turn. Or like used 2 AP and then moved. So next turn he'll have 10 AP bonus. The animal legends are still there. We have another spell, I think, that we can showcase. The 22k ornament is not gonna be included in this update. Normally it should be included in the one in December. So it's not determined for sure if the Volbis drops what floor is gonna be. They want to include eventually the anomalies bosses, but for now they're too linked to their map. So there's a lot of adjustments that's gonna be needed.
Faudra sûrement les adapter, quoi. Parce que le problème c'est que
Yeah.
si Datura tu enlèves ces invoques qui avancent, il doit
So if you, for instance, you take Datura and you remove the map, the specific map with the
tellement grand sur le terrain que ouais, voilà, ce sera
Yeah.
compliqué d'en faire un truc vraiment équilibré.
it's just gonna be hard to balance this because like Algony, for instance, is also specific.
Alors, on garde les anciens ornements de songe, oui. Ils sont pas retirés du jeu. Combat à vague, alors,
All of the ornaments are still there. They're not gonna be removed.
par contre, le combat final, c'est vrai qu'on en a pas encore
There's no wave fight
parce que s'ils font des doubles,
except
on aura la chance de
for the last fight.
final. Ça va faire beaucoup de doubles. Le combat final sera un combat à vague de boss. Exactement.
Yeah. The last fight is gonna be a boss wave fight.
Boss sur un nombre de vagues et de boss par vague
There's gonna be
de votre intensité.
a number of...
Palier d'intensité entre gros guillemets parce qu'il y a
Wait, what happened?
technologie pour cette
There's gonna be a number of bosses and the difficulty of bosses depending on what the difficulty level you choose.
les boss sont réfléchis pour aller bien ensemble. Le but
The boss are
particulier
specifically selected to go well together.
que les salles d'avant puisque ce seront toujours les mêmes d'une run à l'autre. Ah, oh là là, je peux tuer mes alliés.
So he's speedrunning, I think, to go to the harder floors and to showcase the last... Oh wait, I missed that, but I think all the monsters also have the bonuses? I'm not sure.
Avancer, sinon vous voulez faire une difficulté, vous voulez qu'on montre une difficulté cauchemar 8
We can either speedrun through the dreams or start again to show the
qui ont peur que ce soit un peu trop facile.
nightmare difficulty.
Donc là on commence. Oh, ouais, peut-être la 8.
Start at difficulty 8 maybe?
Je vais faire le cauchemar 1, ça sera très bien.
So this is first level of nightmare.
Alors là ça commence en 16.
It starts with difficulty 16 and then goes to up to 24 right after.
Exponentielle, les différences se font de plus en plus ressentir à mesure que les paliers avancent.
And it's exponentially hard.
C'est possible de voir en duo ou en solo, c'est ce que j'ai compris, ça change. Eh bien, sur les intensités 1, 2 et 3, les combats seront plus faciles, donc vous pourrez essayer de le faire. En
You
duo,
can-
avec des combats, on a fait des playtests, ça se fait.
You can clear the whole dreams with
facilement.
only 2 characters and 2 sidekicks if you pick the easy.
En difficulté 1,
Or difficulty 1, you can even do solo with 1 sidekick.
probablement vous pouvez finir avec, si vous maîtrisez bien le jeu, il y a un monde où ça peut le faire jusqu'au bout.
Oui, je pense aussi.
You can do the whole dreams run.
Parce qu'on est dans le palier 1 toujours. Donc même en cauchemar, il faut quand même faire un certain nombre de salles avant d'avoir du drop.
Even when you're playing nightmare difficulty, you have bonus drops, but when you're in the first bracket, there's no chance to get legends. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna drink a bit.
On pourra choisir la difficulté de la run songe avant son lancement, cauchemar 10, afin de commencer directement dans le dur. Oui, si vous voulez. Ils sont tous débloqués de base. Donc à un moment, on se disait, est-ce qu'on débloque au fur et à mesure?
So-
Finalement, on s'est dit, bah,
Someone's asking if you can pick any difficulty from the start,
à vos risques et périls.
or if you need to
Pourquoi on droppe rien au début? Parce qu'on veut éviter que les gens ferment le jeu.
beat the first difficulties to get to the last one. But
Aléatoire, on pourrait
you can already start at difficulty 10.
au début,
Et reroll à
maximiser
l'infini.
le drop. Là, il faut un certain investissement quand même pour arriver jusqu'au drop. Alors qui est
Yeah.
quand même
The goal
plus
here,
rapide que les anciens songes. Hein. Vraiment, ça va se compter en heures et pas en soirée. Donc,
yeah, they said it's gonna be much faster to reach a point where you can drop legends in this than in normal dreams.
À vous de voir.
Oh, they're talking about the secret message, I think.
En songe, possible de les écouter. Je suis pas sûr qu'elles soient encore en jeu, j'ai un doute. crois qu'ils étaient encore en... Ils étaient sur la fin là, mais ils n'étaient pas encore intégrés, donc on les a pas sous la main en tout cas. Non.
There's gonna be some specific music for dreams.
En boucle jusqu'au palier 5.
People want them to like skip all the way through the hardest fights. So let's see. They don't want to see the gameplay, they want to see the hardest fights this has to offer.
Oui, tu peux, ou sinon en switch côté régie le temps que...
They only did the secret message on the French forum? No, that's false. Persona was also included in the English forums.
Je vois des questions sur les drops des légendes, je clarifie vite fait, donc c'est disponible à partir de Paradox.
The legends, you can drop legends starting from difficulty 4 and starting from bracket 3. Thank you for the follow, really appreciate it.
Vous maîtrisez bien, vous êtes 4, je pense en 3 heures, 3 heures et demie.
Usually it should take about 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours to clear the whole run, Dreams run.
Entre-temps, là en l'occurrence, ce qui est l'avantage du groupe de 3 heures, c'est que tu sais dans quoi tu t'engages et potentiellement tu vas réussir à garder ton groupe jusqu'à la fin. Tu dis bah je recharge.
Yeah, it's easier to find a group
pendant les 3 heures pour qu'on fasse une run en entier.
to do like the whole run with you. If you have people, you can ask like, are you available for the next 3 hours? We can.
Si vous êtes propriétaire, après vous pouvez aller dans d'autres songes.
There's no way to get multiple dreams run at the same time. It's like right now.
Quel est l'intérêt de la dernière salle de songe? Bah, si vous réussissez, vous
What's
en bribe de rêve,
the
relativement.
appeal of the last dream of the last room? We wanted to make a fight that was a bit different, and if you clear it, you transform your extra dream points into rewards. People were not happy about us designing a specific boss, a bit like Ariadias, to have at the end of dreams, because they want the dream to be easier if they have a big knowledge of the game. So that's why we asked, that's why we made here we have a favor. So this is the bracket 2, room 11, and we're gonna see what the favor is. So it's a spell that's free, but you don't get to choose it. You can use a reroll to change what bonus you'll get from this. This one allows you to skip the next turn of someone. That's it. And it's usable only once. Multi-account is still good. It's limited to 4 players. So the special spells, like the one that you got, they all cost 1 AP and reimburse 1 AP. So this one is 2 bosses and 1 wanted monster that's called Takomako. This is the first fight, difficulty 40 of this is the floor 13 out of 30.
Sachant que Takomako, au début on pourrait dire easy. Takomako, on a bien boosté sa difficulté suite au playtest parce que
Takomako is too easy, so they boosted this difficulty. Let's see the drops. There we go. So here it is. These are the legends. This might be what you'll have in the beta, but we're gonna do some adjustments for sure during the beta. So this is Nightmare 8, the difficulty. The drops are boosted by that. So people saw the names of the 7 New legends. It got leaked.
On ne montrera pas les stats par contre,
Non.
on laissera les découvrir. En effet, il y a quelques petits noms de légendes.
Ouais, qui sont déjà un peu-
So yeah, these are the drop rates. Can we drop more than one legend? Maybe, probably. I don't see why not. If it's like 0.2% for each.
Le pourcentage de drops qui sont affichés, c'est avec le bonus de l'intensité.
These percentages are applied. The bonus of the level 8 intensity is applied.
Non, une fois que
Can we leave the room if we don't like it?
soit vous utilisez une tempête astrale et du coup ça vous
So when you get into a room, there's two options. Either you fight it or you use a reroll to reroll the monsters.
envoyer des questions de mon
But you need to stay in that room.
alors, le drop des légendes affecté par Pépé, on a répondu. Quid des anciens on a répondu.
He's reading a couple of questions. Yeah, we'll see a pick of S-Leaks dropping 8 legends, for sure.
QoL level comme dans Diablo.
As prospection and influence drops, yes.
À voir.
Oh, peut-être.
On
Mais
y a
après,
pensé. On a des joueurs de Diablo.
Le niveau des vaches n'existe pas. Hein.
We're talking about Diablo, but I didn't get the reference.
Je sais pas si tu pourras peut-être-
Technical question.
Chara, est-ce que quand tu avais ton bonus PO, si tu fais exploser une bombe de roublard, la PO est augmentée?
When you explode a rogue bomb with the extra range,
C'est seulement les zones de cast.
does it increase the range of the explosion? And he says no.
Je vais prendre quelques
C'est bon, on peut,
questions. Ah, c'est
on
bon.
peut montrer aux joueurs. Je fais
Ok.
des jolies maps de fin de songe.
So this is a really nice map of the end of the dreams. This is the last bracket,
Peut-être la-
bracket 5.
Où est-ce que tu en es? Donc là, on voit
This is the first
bientôt. Et
floor 24.
Donc là, on est difficulté 48.
So it's 48 the difficulty,
Un peu.
and you'll have one Tenril, one Barbarian, Queen of Thieves, one monsters from Volcania, the one that like explodes where there's enough summons next to it, one Levitroff, one monster
commence à être un peu plus dur. Moi, je vous propose de
from Crocusco. Let's see how they...
En train de suer devant son ordinateur.
Là, on voit à quoi ça ressemble.
So these the bonuses that they have,
Qui est avec nous.
Ouais,
at least the map is kind with us. So the bonuses that he has is 20% final damage, 2 summons, 20% vitality, and 80% pushback damage. So the drop rate is a bit increased since we got up to the levels. So it's now 0.25%. So let's see how he manages to
différente sur un même personnage dans un même combat.
get this.
C'est une bonne question.
C'est pas encore totalement.
Oh, he's just... No, he's just killing everyone.
Une réponse.
Oh.
Je pense que non. Mais c'est encore en.
Apparently he wants to show us other...
Je trouvais que c'était trop facile en paradoxe 1. En paradoxe 1. Là, on est sur cauchemar 1, donc le niveau 8 sur 10. En effet, la difficulté est plus élevée.
The difficulty is much harder
De comment vous avancez.
here than like the first
Maîtriser, de
time.
dire un peu votre, enfin, de trouver un peu votre,
There's 2 wanted monsters in that one, and the Eternal Conflict.
ça change pas.
Tomb Raider, yeah.
On va pas passer à 4% de drop légende.
Ça a augmenté de 15%. Bon.
Incroyable.
It's now 0.26%.
Il n'y a rien qui va s'ajouter en tout cas.
Yeah. So it's not like when you get to the higher level of difficulty, there's not like the bonus is less. It's just to challenge yourself at this point.
Montre le dernier combat.
Ouais, et puis après, je pense qu'on aura fait à peu près le tour. J'ai l'impression que les-
Let's show the boss
Il y a
fight,
3 questions qu'on m'a envoyées de mon-
and we will
sur la partie
answer
quality of life de tout à l'heure. Les coffres
another questions.
utilisés avec banque et Avrosac pour le quality of life HDV. Pour
Are
l'instant, que sur la banque et le-
Home how house's chest will be available when you're crafting? No. Only banks and haven bags for now.
Est-ce qu'il sera possible de désactiver les pings pour ceux qui veulent
Is it
harceler?
gonna be possible to
Je suis pas
disable pings for people who wants to stop being
je sais pas
harassed?
harcelé que actuellement,
Will people be more harassed than right now?
si je puis dire.
I don't think so. So
Oui.
you need to be in the group of the person to see the pings.
Est-ce que si on migre
if you go to a new server where you have 0 characters there, do you lose all of your professions? Yes, you will lose all of your professions. So this is the boss room. This is the last fight. This is a wave fight of all the bosses. He showed the list of the bosses. Every 3 turns, there's gonna be a new wave. And you can see all the monsters from the start. So you see all the list of the bosses.
Vous avez plus ou moins de monstres et de vagues.
The classic Royal Gobble
Un gros boucle royal là.
with 40,000 HP.
Il n'y a pas d'aléatoire sur le combat final. En effet, au début, c'était tout le temps le même combat de boss, mais on a fait des modifications.
Ouais, exactement.
So apparently this is the same fight as the trailer.
Un peu dur en difficulté rêve 1 de prendre cette celle-là.
So now apparently there's gonna be adjustments and it's not gonna be always the same fight.
Du coup, j'imagine que votre difficulté sera entre Cauchemar 1 et Paradoxe 1. Donc il y a 4 niveaux de difficulté. Et à vous de voir la difficulté que vous voulez faire, sachant que comme on le disait dans le devblog,
Apparently there's gonna be 4 difficulties of boss fights.
qui veulent se challenger. C'est pour ça qu'il n'y a pas
The goal of Nightmare is really to challenge yourself.
au paradoxe. C'est vraiment pour challenger les plus téméraires d'entre vous.
This is a reminder, it was specified already.
Alors là, la difficulté, c'est que je pense qu'on a que le panda qui peut se debuff. Je suis pas sûr que les autres puissent se debuff de tour.
So the hard part here is that, yeah, you cannot debuff yourself except the panda.
Ça c'est mal.
Oui, en plus, comme ils ont fait des. Je sais pas si
That's the Dragon Pig bonus.
On a très peu de bonus. On a très
Oui,
peu de
voilà.
bonus là
Donc
parce qu'on
là,
a
ils
même
ont-
pas
ils ont
passé les
zéro
salles.
bonus,
Donc là,
Okay,
si
so-
à cet endroit-là, c'est très difficile.
Normally you'd have more bonuses at this point, but since he like cheated and moved moved out, move all the way through the rooms by cheating, by using like the GM tools.
En fait, sans bonus, c'est hard. Le but, c'est aussi, on a
So that's why he doesn't have a lot of bonuses. Yeah.
pour qu'il y a des bonus intéressants, mais qu'en contrepartie, il y a une difficulté qui suit, bien entendu. Quoi.
So yeah, it's interesting to like pick the nice bonuses even sometimes. So he's like now he's just using all the spells
Bon, c'est pas grave.
to kill everyone.
C'était pas très grave. Non, faut que je fasse de la magie. Finalement. Il a quand même joué. Bah oui, j'ai pas
Yeah, I'm just gonna comment on something. I think you really need the stats because the bonus are 50% agility. They said no, it's never gonna be 50% of one specific element. It's always gonna be final damage, range damage, melee damage. So you can play all the elements. That was a goal that they want to accomplish. Sorry, I missed that last part. Now we will be able to see the end of Dreams UI. So here it is. So you see all the people that participated. They all get the same rewards. There wasn't a lot of bonuses because they cheated to progress faster. And same thing with the dreams. There's not a lot of dreams transferred into these fragments of dreams or whatever. So this is not really how it's gonna be. Normally you'll have more rewards and more bonuses and stuff like that. But now they wanted to show... Okay, so this guy dropped at the end of the fight a astral rune straight up. There's no chests anymore.
Désolé, je te coupe un peu, mais effectivement, les gens qui voulaient dropper, il y aura plus d'histoire de coffre, donc on pourra les voir directement en drop ici.
So yeah, they want to showcase the... It looks like Kujinax, yeah. And then they're gonna start over the same exact... So you enter the code here, If you take the same difficulty, it's gonna be always the same rooms, always the same monsters, always the same items in the shops.
C'est ça. Et là, on peut voir le petit détail ici qui nous dira qu'on est dans un souvenir.
Yeah.
Voilà, je crois que c'est à peu près le tour de ce qu'on...
That's what we wanted to show you. We're reaching 2 hours of live, so
Vous avez peut-être encore d'autres questions.
maybe if you have more questions, we can get some of these questions based on what we showed you.
Concernant le drop vue 10, on aura une indication pour savoir l'étage minimal pour les drops.
It's gonna be clearly indicated
Ça sort quand tout ça? Donc,
to see which floor you'll need to go for the dreams drops.
la bêta, c'est mercredi prochain,
The beta is next Wednesday on the 3rd of September,
23 septembre.
and the update's gonna release 3 weeks later on the 23rd of September.
Bêta, avec la
The beta is the same as always, free loot.
prendre le stuff que vous voulez.
You start a new character, you can use existing characters from previous betas and get every items for free to try out all of these.
On sera pas avec une réponse définitive en live maintenant.
So there's not going to be a definitive answer for the prospecting, how it affects the drop. They're still on the fence about it.
Si y a quelqu'un, si vous avez participé par exemple aux 5 premières salles et que la personne elle arrive à aller au bout des songes et que vous étiez déconnecté, quand vous vous reconnecterez,
So they're reiterating again.
participer à ce songe là, il s'est terminé, vous avez
If you get a reward from a dream, let's say you start a dream, but before you reach the end, you quit the game. When you're gonna log back in, if the owner of the dream finished, you're gonna get a notification.
vous allez équilibrer. Alors c'est prévu qu'on équilibre, c'est pas prévu qu'on nous mette Doom. On vous met
Ah ouais
Doom. Et non,
Ah,
on a beaucoup discuté entre nous. Il y a des personnes qui trouvent qu'on casualise un peu trop le jeu, donc on s'est dit qu'on n'allait pas.
Après, si vous avez beaucoup d'argent à la fontaine,
Peut-être.
They said the doom spell that they used to kill all the monsters is not gonna be available because people were saying that the game is now too casual.
Alors, il y a le lobby de la PP qui commence à se réveiller maintenant. J'ai l'impression que la question elle est divisée au sein même de la communauté.
Yeah, the community is divided about the prospecting. Some people want it to impact the drops, some people don't want it.
Pas possible pour les ressources demandées dans les quêtes. Non, c'est que les crafts et l'HDV.
je vois la question passer, mais en ce qui concerne le serveur...
I didn't get that question, sorry.
quand vous perdrez en songe.
If you die in dreams on Shadow, you don't die forever.
Sur ici,
That's cool for Jay.
pour la PP, MDR, il n'y a pas de lobby. Alors. j'ai
Shadow
quand même
mention, yes, thank you,
parlé
Gluto.
de non PP tout à l'heure. N'essayez pas de spammer si vous voulez, parce qu'on va plus avoir de questions pour finir le live.
People are spamming, yes, prospecting, no prospecting. It's a war in the chat.
On ne peut pas dire qu'il y a un groupe qui. Ouais, il y a PP, voilà.
En tout cas, vous êtes d'accord, ça fait plaisir.
Vous êtes d'accord pour dire qu'il y a un d'accord.
They all agreed to say that they don't agree.
voir si vous avez vraiment beaucoup de chance, il est possible de dropper plusieurs légendes en un seul combat.
Ah, there it is. If you are lucky, you can drop multiple legends in one single fight.
Prenez pas pour un vampire.
But this is still being discussed. But as of now, each legend has a drop rate individual.
C'est vrai, vraiment ça.
C'est ça. Même moi, je suis déçu. Je plaisante. Je plaisante. Ah, petit leak légende, non, on vous laisse les...
They're asking to leave the legends. We said no.
Des spéculations, comme disait Rebecca.
We don't want anyone speculating.
Classe de prévu. Rebecca a répondu brièvement tout à l'heure. Peut-être des choses mineures, mais rien de...
No big class balancing is coming for 3.3. Once again.
C'était ta question, c'est pas mal. Ça me va. Écoutez.
Je vais en faire une autre si tu veux.
Ouais, vas-y.
One last question, maybe.
Ah, il y a un sort qui permet de contrôler un monstre.
There's a spell that allows you to take control of a monster.
Trailer, mais en
It was in the trailer.
un sort qui permettra de pouvoir contrôler.
But yes, there's gonna be a.
Je me permets, il vous permettra pas de...
Thanks for the sub.
passer le monstre dans
Really, really nice.
Ouais. Mais il tapera les autres monstres.
Okay, so you're not gonna be able to control it. It's just gonna play like it was in your team.
Sur cette mise à jour. En tout cas, nous on est contents. J'ai vu que ça fait pas mal plaisir à la fois sur le Quality of Life
People seem to be really happy.
On espère que ça vous fera plaisir, que ce sera à la hauteur de vos attentes et de ce que vous imaginez pour la mise à jour.
Oh, thank you very much, brother. Awesome.
Prochain,
Really good name.
3 septembre.
Just as a reminder,
Des heures pour ne pas me faire
the 3rd of September, the beta is gonna be open should be as soon as possible during the day, and the release on the 23rd of September. Thank you to everyone watching this live. Thank you to my colleagues who, well, Riebek's colleagues who assisted him. And see you around.
Imaginez